Linda Miracle again, and today we're going to be exploring the difference between feelings and emotions. Feelings are what we work with on the body. Feelings are movement of energy in the body in response to an object, a situation, something that we come across, like throwing a stone into a pond. The object or the situation comes into my consciousness, sinks down through all the layers, my beliefs, my judgments, my experiences, both known and unknown to me. And when it hits bottom, automatically energy arises reactively to that situation. So for instance, I'm going about my day, the phone rings, someone calls me, a friend has passed away. I feel a contraction in my chest. And then my brain steps in and says, oh, that's so sad. I name it. So what can happen with the body is there may be times where I am not entirely comfortable, some part of me is not comfortable with maybe feeling sadness. So if I lock up the body and I don't feel that movement of energy, somehow in my mind, I'm all right now, I don't feel sad. It's a way to push away that part of me. That can become problematic because it begins to set up something that in the body we call segmental armoring. There's ocular, jaw, chest, solar plexus, and hips. And in the movements we're going to be exploring over this next series of videos, we're going to do a movement that will work to open the segment for each one of these areas. Opening the segment doesn't mean we don't feel that feeling, that emotion. It means it's not stuck on the body. Other times that it can cause segmental armoring is in the event, other than having a part uncomfortable with an emotion, it could be that through some experience in my life, when it occurred, it was so traumatic to me that there was a belief in my system that if I felt the feelings that were associated with it, somehow my internal system would be overwhelmed by that. So I take that part of myself and I push it aside. I go through life and that part is stuck in a space and time that's not now. So when it gets triggered, and it can get triggered, then I'm kind of living in the movie Groundhog Day. That experience is happening over and over. That creates segmental armoring. And then segmental armoring can also occur on a short-term basis. For instance, one time I broke a rib, and I was in so much pain for a period of a few months that my body began to be like this, because the body will always do what's most comfortable. After it healed, I noticed that I was having pain on the other side of my back. So with some series of movements, I was able to let my body know that it was okay to move again and not be in pain. When we have more complex issues like trauma and segmental armoring, just movements alone will not change that pattern, but movements with working with those parts of ourself with some type of talk and emotional therapy is going to absolutely begin to change where we carry regular tension and stress on the body. So the first motion we're going to work with today is we're going to work with grief, since that's where we started. Grief, as I mentioned, can often be experienced as a contraction of energy into the chest. Injures the lungs. Forgetting Chinese medicine, lungs do a lot. We breathe with lungs. We can go for a pretty long time without food, somewhat less time without water. A minute, 2 minutes, if you really got good lungs, without air. So lungs are essential, whether we look at it through Western or Chinese or Ayurvedic medicine. So what we want to do is be able to work with feeling that our mind labels as grief, help it move along the body while we process what may be behind that feeling. The way we do that is I like adding a couple of extra points to give the movement a little extra punch. And in this case, we're going to use the little finger and thumb. Stand up, inhale and exhale. Feel the breath coming into the chest, going out of the chest. Be aware of what it feels like. Is it tight? Is it open? Is it hard? Is it soft? Explore it sensually. If there is feeling of sadness there, connect with that as well. Let it be there. Let that sadness be present. And after you've explored that for however many breaths, connected with it, then we can begin to do the movement. On an inhale, exhale, we go down as much as comfortable. This is not a stretch. Arms are crossed. Inhale, extend the arms and look forward with the eyes. Exhale, squish it out. Repeat. Squish it out. And we'll do one more. Eyes look forward. Back is straight, but we're not standing upright. Come up slowly. Deep breath and connect back to the chest. Check in for a minute. What does the chest feel like now? Feel the inhale and exhale. Come back. So that's the movement to work with grief as it affects the lungs. 7 is the magic number. You can do them as frequently as you want. I would avoid doing 20 of them thinking, wow, I'm really sad, I'll just do a whole bunch and see what happens. 7, but you can do them as frequently as you like to. So our next video, we're going to be exploring the heart and pericardium. Until then, be well.